With Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, the Federal Trade Commission, otherwise known as the FTC, announced a $5 billion settlement with Facebook related to its investigation into privacy breaches allowed by the social media network. The commission found that Facebook violated the law by allowing third parties to collect users' private data, including phone numbers, things like that. Of course, I think we all expect it, but they got hit pretty hard. Facebook's $5 billion penalty is the second largest fine ever levied by the FTC. In addition to the fine, Facebook will be required to conduct a privacy review of every product and service it develops and then submit those reviews to a third-party assessor. They're also required to pay an additional $100 million to the Securities and Exchange Commission for failing to disclose security breaches to their investors.
Can I say this about these settlements? I feel like the government is sort of this garbage disposal. Oh, let's see, something AOC can understand. A black hole. Oh, damn it. Easy. A hole in the ground. And the $5 billion will just go in, and that'll just be that. What I would like is we've just stumbled across $5 billion. Here's how much this bridge is going to cost. Here's how much these 3 schools in the inner city are going to cost. Here is the cost of the light rail that's going to get people from the inner city over to the suburbs, or whatever it is. I want to know, I'd like some allocation.
Yes.
I want to know, we'll buy 1 cruiser destroyer, and then we'll do 1 bridge, and then we're also going to, and I don't want the general kind of stuff, we're going to put it into research or something. That always gets lost somehow.
Yeah.
I want some hard stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want some highways.
Ooh.
I want some bridges. I want some battleships.
And start branding the things with brought to you by Facebook's fuck up.
They still,
right.
Well, I don't know if they want that to be either.
That's the penalty. That's the penalty.
I want LAX fixed. Mm-hmm. It's driving me nuts. People are it's the worst airport in the country. It's why is it got to be in LA? I thought LA was the best. Why is the worst? We're the 3rd worst airport in the country. Yeah, I want LAX fixed. I want a monorail going from LAX to downtown to my backyard. I want everything, and I want to know, how much stuff costs. What does a elementary school cost? And whatever that is, I bet we could get 150 of those things, and I want them. That's what I want. Instead, it'll just be $5 billion that goes into some kitty, and we never see it again.
Yeah, and then you know how you sometimes get in the mail those random class action suit envelopes that you're you didn't probably know this, but you're a part of this, whatever. And it's everyone gets 25 cents. It wasn't worth it.
What's that for?
Yeah.
Now, is there something we don't know about the government when they get $5 billion? Do they have to spread it around to the victims?
I don't know.
I'm curious where it goes.
There's millions and millions of victims.
I think the penalty is different than the settlement. The penalty is you pay to the FTC, and I don't know where that goes, but it doesn't go to victims. That goes to something, some fund.
Well, let's have it go to something that serves the people. Let's get ourselves some like LA got a big transportation problem. I don't know how many commuter vans and shuttles and buses you could get to pick people up and drop them off at the whatever. Let's get Dodger Stadium renovated. We got to pad the parking lot so people won't be concussed when they're attacked in the parking lot.
Yeah, impeded.
Yeah, make sure the floor's sprung.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sprung like a wrestling.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, on the exact other side of things, the Senate has passed a bill keeping the federal 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund solvent until 2092. The vote was 97-2. The president is expected to sign the legislation into law. The VCF, that's the Victims Compensation Fund, provides assistance to firefighters, cops, EMTs, other victims of the attack on the World Trade Center. It was running out of money. Jon Stewart's emotional testimony on Capitol Hill has been credited with spurring the new legislation.
Take that, Kim Kardashian.
Right? Mm-hmm. Here's what Jon Stewart had to say after the bill. It's about a minute and a half. You can dump out whenever you want.
Yes, I think we can all agree I'm the real hero. Hard not to see it that way.
Oh, don't cry.
This has been the honor of my life. to work with the men and women behind me. Today it's about the heart, James Adroga and Joe.
Can we just watch
integrity
Brian's
of Ray
song
Pfeiffer,
so I can not
and the
cry?
courage of Lou Alvarez, and the tenacity of John Field. They lifted this 9/11 community on their shoulders, and they carried them home. And I will always be so proud to have been associated with it. And we can never repay all that the 9/11 community has done for our country.
All right.
We can.
I love Rob Riggle. Rob Riggle was on the debris pile for a month, and you go like, any problems? He's like, what kind? Respiratory? I don't know. What, you mean with me? Yeah, have you checked into it? No, haven't. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I love that guy's attitude. Never even... It's like he hasn't
He's
thought
not a
about
whiner
it.
like the rest of these guys.
Yeah,
Of their,
come on.
of their emphysema.
The rest of these guys in hospice.
I know you can't, but suck it up.
if only.
No, they're fine. He's fine. Everyone's fine. I'm just saying, I like the fact that Rob Riggle's never even looked into it.
Yeah.
That's
moving on.
I like that mentality. All right.
Well, Lifetime is following up its docuseries Surviving R. Kelly with a new show, Surviving Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
The New York Post. Yep.
Wow.
New York
A
Post-
mother's nightmare.
Oh, it is, though. It is.
I know.
The New York Post reports the project will center on convicted pedophile Epstein, who is currently locked up without bail pending trial on child sex trafficking charges. The multimillionaire financier, as you remember, was busted July 6th for the alleged sexual abuse of dozens of young girls between 2002 2005. Lifetime will also be doing a follow-up to Surviving R. Kelly called Surviving R. Kelly, The Aftermath. There's no word yet on the air dates for either, but they are supposed to be coming down the pike.
A second mother's nightmare. Who's worried about this? Like this TV show? Are there people we've heard of? Are there people we know? Is there a lot of people that are worried?
The TV show?
Who's associated with Epstein?
Is there a Bill Clinton? Is there Trump? I mean, like, who's like wringing their hands?
Yeah.
Like, who's worried about that picture
Yes.
showing up? Who's worried about the chick who's now 27? Is like, when I was 13, I went on a flight with fill in the blank. Milton Berle. Back then, he was 91. You know, like, who's gonna
come out of the
who's
woodwork?
worried? Somebody's worried, right?
Yeah, and they're saying that it's supposed to basically be a lot of victim testimony, so they will talk.
And the only people on those planes were super rich, notable people,
Inner
not
circle.
necessarily household names,
Right.
but those weren't, I flew with my gardener, my pool man.
Big machers, as the Jews say. Yeah.
Yes.
So that will be coming. So Kylie Jenner can charge as much as $1.2 million per sponsored Instagram post. For the second consecutive year, she tops the 2019 Instagram Rich List. 3 of her sisters, Kim, Kendall, and Khloe, also are on the top 20, but they are not anywhere near Kylie. Any guesses on who made the top 10? What you can basically charge for an ad on your Instagram page?
Logan Paul.
I was going to ask him about this. Yeah, he did not make the cut, but I thought he'd have thoughts on it.
Who did? Well, we
I'll
need
give you
a
a couple of names.
Well, certainly Beyonce.
Well, we need
Beyonce's number 7.
Right. But there's 2 things. Like, you go, well, I don't know. You go like, Barack Obama, but you go like, he wouldn't charge.
Sure.
Right.
Like, you go like, Oprah would be
Right.
this popular, but she wouldn't charge,
Probably not.
or probably
Yeah,
not.
She's probably
You're
promoting
right.
her own stuff.
Other actors, singers, sports stars, global sports stars, if that helps.
David Beckham.
What's his name? Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo, he's number 3, $975,000 a post. Neymar,
Garcia Parr?
yeah,
I don't know.
soccer guy, he's number 9.
Soccer
Bieber, number 10. Taylor Swift, number 8. The Rock, number 6. Selena Gomez, number 5. Ariana Grande, number 2. And
Selena
of course,
Gomez
Cousins.
holding on
She
strong.
sure is.
I don't know how that-
886,000
How does that work?
I thought the wave had crested with her.
I guess not. Well, and that's the thing, because they have so much influence over their followers that it's it's a perfect fit. I mean, it doesn't seem like a waste of money to a company to give Kylie Jenner $1 million and have her, expound how wonderful the product is.
Adam, you used to talk about the golden days of holding deals. Not development deals, holding deals. Will we look back on this era of crazy influencer, money for posting on social media as the days of holding deals?
Yeah, the holding deal was they just pay you $1 million to not go somebody, or they pay you $5 million or $500,000 or whatever it is. They just give you a lump of money and go, you can't go work for somebody else for a year. We haven't thought of anything for you yet, but we don't want you going across the street and getting a job.
And that's the way business worked in entertainment for a while until they realized that's a bad business model to pay people to not do things. Yeah. Like, how long till the companies realize, we're spending $1 million and we're not getting anywhere near ROI?
Not only that, on like holding deals and sometimes development deals, they'd have a whole office for you that you'd never even have to go to.
Yep.
It was awesome. Max Pata, we have a unprepared clip that's 3 minutes long from, where were we, Portland?
This is Portland. This is the Late Show Friday. We have a longer version on YouTube. But
weren't we doing the news?
Yeah. Well, he put it on my screen, and I'm curious to see it now. It's dentistry.
Dentist.
Okay.
Because the word is dentist.
Dentist. The fucking dentist. I realized the thing about the dentist is the dentist is basically painless now. Like, I just got a bunch of major oral surgery, and the guy gave me the Twilight gas, and I was out the whole fucking time, which was completely fine with me. Like, I don't care. I woke up, pants around my ankles, blouse over my head. I didn't fucking care. It was a small price to pay for feeling nothing while this guy had an auger bit into my fucking jawbone. By the way, any dentists out there, like, whenever anyone asks a question, just give happy answers, would you? Like, nothing fucking worse. We go, we got to do a gum graft and a bone. We got to take a bone and we got to do a bone graft. And I go, where do you get the bone? And they go, a cadaver. Just fucking say LeBron James. I don't fucking feel good about myself. And really? LeBron? Yeah, he donates. Wow. No, fucking dead hobo. I fucking OD'd in a dumpster, and now your jaw's going to be possessed. Cadaver. Me and Jimmy went, when we were doing the Man Show, we went to a place that does penis enlargements, and they fatten your penis up. And they're like, well, we just take the human tissue, and we take the tissue, we sew the tissue onto the side of the penis. And I said, where do you get human tissue? And they're like, cadaver. And I'm like, well, you're a donor, right? It's on your license. I'm like, I was trying to give underprivileged kids the gift of sight. Not fucking widen the hog on an Asian businessman. They leave that part out of the story when they're trying to get you to sign up at the DMV. The best dentist, so it's all painless now, right? The dentist, you go in the twilight sleep, and you're all numbed up, and you don't give a shit anymore. But the other one, by the way, do we have any dentists here? Yeah, I'm here. We do? Yeah, okay. Listen, hey, the fucking, the sand, the pumice that you use to clean the teeth, the fucking, first off, let me just say something. I'm 55 years old. Don't give me the choice between the bubble gum and the Twizzlers. Just fucking make it taste like toothpaste. I'm not fucking not. And by the way, don't send me a thing, the reminder, I'm a 55-year-old man. I get a reminder in the mail like it's time for your cleaning. It's Mrs. Toothbrush. She's being chased by Mr. Cavity. I'm fucking 55. How about some dignity? How about just a fucking heads up? Hey, adult, it's time to get your mouth clean. You think think the bank works this way with the mortgage? Oh, Mr. House is upset. He's got a frowny face. We've not paid his bills. I'm a fucking adult. Just tell me it's time to get my fucking teeth cleaned. Yeah, I think there is only one reminder, and that's the upset Mrs. Toothbrush.
The
They
worried
just have
tooth.
everything for kids, and they just send it
Right.
out to everybody.
Yeah.
We've missed you.
Yeah, I know. The tooth is upset. All right, let's see. What else you got, Gina Grant?
Well, CNN reports that actor and comic Arsenio Hall tweeted that he'd be in the sequel to Coming to America with Eddie
I've
Murphy.
been seeing him out during the... Oh, by the way, so you should know... Tommy Lee and company's going to be out on Sunday at the Agora Hills at the Canyon.
Nice.
When me and Adam Ray are doing stand-up there. So that'll be Montclair Friday, Pasadena Saturday, and Agora Hills on Sunday with Tommy Lee. We'll give him to pull his dick out and do that move. Where
Touch the stage from the fifth row.
or does that move where he knocks everything off the bar with it. Like
Supermarket sweep style.
the bar. Like they do it. Like, remember they
clear
slide
the
the guy
table.
down the bar? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that with him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Paramount announced in February that the sequel is set to hit theaters next year. Not much known about the plot. Of course, the original Prince Akeem comes to Queens looking to find a queen in Queens, wanting to avoid his arranged marriage. And according to Deadline, Akeem learns about a long-lost son in this new one, must return to America to meet the unlikely heir to the throne of Zamunda. And this is set to come out next August, 2020.
Yeah, it's kind of... It works. It dovetails nicely with the black community, where like in Creed and stuff. Like, they did it with what's his name too. They did it with Drago. They do a lot of
lost son.
A lot of jocks, black and white, are like, he didn't know he had a son. It's like, yeah, I'll buy that plot point.
That
Now
Prince.
it's 30 years later, and he's fighting for the championship. Yeah, there's a lot of. This guy didn't know he had a son.
You suspend your disbelief.
Which, I don't know, in the 50s, people were kind of like, huh? But
stretch.
now we're like, oh, yeah, I didn't know my dad.
Yeah.
If he said he knew his son, it'd be unbelievable.
Right.
A rare pair of Nike's Moon shoe, I don't even know if you're familiar, has broken the world auction record for a pair of sneakers. This is according to New York auction house Sotheby's and CNN.
Well, we're looking at a trackish basketball. No, it's a track shoe. It's a track shoe that must have been worn by somebody.
Oh, that's the one that Logan Paul set the record in for
Right.
800 meters. Yeah.
Sub 9.
The sub 9. It's a track shoe, I guess. It doesn't look like a football cleat. And it's not basketball, and it could be for some form of golf, but it's too old for that. I mean, they had golf shoes, but they had like screw-on cleats. I think it's a track shoe, and I think somebody must have worn it. Some famous runner must have worn it and set some sort of record in it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a famous track shoe that would get that kind of money.
I mean, it could just be old, like a Nike original, because no one kept those.
Could be the prototype or something.
You're partially right.
I say Zola Budd.
The one who faked, did she fall, or did she fake it? She fell.
She fell, but she ran barefoot.
Oh, wow.
And that's why this would be, that's why it's hilarious, but also why it would be so valuable. See, that's a good example of a reference that is strong, but no one would ever,
Yeah.
That's a
no one
Dennis
ever
Miller
get.
reference.
Yeah, Zola Budd ran barefoot.
Wow.
And in the Olympics, tripped and fell. And oh, wait, she's got, oh, no, wait. Oh, wait a minute.
The other chick.
The barefoot chick. Wait a minute. Who tripped then? Zola Budd tripped? I thought Zola Budd was the barefooter. And we see one chick tripping.
Well, she is, the one
Or
standing
Zola-
is barefoot.
Yeah, Zola tripped the barefooter. Either way, she was I think Zola was a barefooter, but we'll have to figure this one out. All right.
Well, while he's looking into
Frank
that,
Corral. Oh. See the barefoot kick? Shit. There was a couple of barefoot kickers in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What?
Back in the day, yeah.
Mary Decker and Zola Budd. Mary Decker tripped.
Yeah, Zola Budd was the barefoot runner.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, what do you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, no, but
confirming.
you didn't make it. Yeah, but now we're clear. Zola Budd was the barefoot runner. Did Frank Corral kick Barefoot. That could have been his plant foot, though.
Unlikely. Very unlikely.
So I was just at the Nike headquarters last weekend. So I'm all Nike'd up.
I was going to say, so maybe you have some info.
So wait,
what do you think?
are these shoes?
Well, I'm going to tell you in a moment. What do you think they? Okay, I'll tell you what they are first, and then you can guess how much they went for. They're waffle-soled running shoes. They were designed by Nike co-founder.
On a waffle iron.
That's exactly right.
Were they?
I'm going to show you.
Well, it's only because me and Mike August were driving, and he said, Phil Knight was the University of Oregon or whatever, and he made running shoes, and he made them on a waffle iron.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, co-founder Bill Bowerman, actually known for 1972 Olympic trials. They're one of 12 pairs ever made, the only known unworn set. And as Adam said, Bowerman was inspired to create the waffle-soled traction pattern for Nike's early running shoe by experimenting with his wife's waffle iron, pouring the rubber into the mold to create the prototype. The starting price for the shoe was $80,000. Final sale price shattered the estimate, which was $160,000. What do you think they went for?
The 160 is what it shattered?
That's what it shattered the $160,000 estimate.
Well, it's, guns, cars, guitars, sneakers, watches. Those are like the collector stuff. If it's shattered, I got to say.
That's a pretty strong word, but yeah.
Okay.
$250,000.
I was going to say $475,000.
$437,500.
Wow.
With the 10% fig.
Right.
Would have been at $475,000.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The guy who bought him, by the way, he is this dude, Miles Nadell. He plans to display the sneakers at his private museum in Toronto called the Dare to Dream Automobile Museum.
You got to name your museum, man.
Yeah.
They'll leave
Dare
me
to scream.
They'll leave me like good. That's good.
Thank
Actually.
you.
Frank Corral, did he kick barefoot? Well, Max Pattis got a luck. You should know that off the top of your head.
Why would anyone kick barefoot? Wouldn't you shatter your foot?
They kicked. There was barefoot kickers in the NFL.
I just don't know why you'd prefer that. I mean,
The ball's made of leather.
okay.
I'm not immediately seeing you kick barefoot, but I'm sorry.
Oh, and who am I thinking of?
I don't know. There were barefoot kickers before my time.
There was a few barefoot kickers in the league. One was for the Rams, and if it wasn't Frank Corral,
Tony Franklin,
kicked barefoot.
Rich
yeah.
Carlos, Mike Lansford.
Yeah. No Frank Corral, though, huh?
Not seen it yet.
All right.
But
Well, it would
not-
probably pop up pretty fast if you did it. Yeah, maybe it's Franklin I was thinking of. Well, the Rams had a barefoot kicker. Who was the barefoot place kicker for the Rams?
That was Mike Lansford.
Oh, Lansford. All right. Well, there you go.
Well, production on Fast and Furious 9 has shut down after a crew member suffered a serious head injury. A spokesperson from Universal tells The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "We had an injury on the set of Fast 9 today with our stuntman. We have halted production for the day to focus on this injury. Emergency units were called to Warner Brothers in the UK on Monday following the reports of the man's injury. He was injured in a fall. And the movie's still going to open next May, but right now they're making sure this dude's
I
cool.
hope this does not slow it down at all. I'm getting pumped for Hobbs and Shaw.
Same. I'm in on Hobbs and Shaw.
Boy, between the Tarantino and
Comes out Friday.
Hobbs and Shaw.
It's going to be a strong end of the summer, hopefully.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Look out, world.
It's a great time for bald men, too. Statham and The Rock together. Oh, come on.
Yeah. All right, let me hit Castrol Edge. Tom Dempsey also kicked barefoot.
Wow.
Was he half a foot
Tom
guy?
Dempsey was missing a foot, and he had a special shoe that was like Gallagher's sledgehammer to kick field goals. Tom Dempsey did the opposite of kicking barefoot.
He had a club.
He had no foot.
Yeah.
Isn't that sort of cheating?
I was told he started barefoot.
He did set the
He
record.
started barefoot?
Yeah.
He had the record for the longest field goal for a long time because he had a club built
He had a
into his
foot. He had a foot that was half formed. That's a weird. Tom Dempsey started kicking barefoot.
This ain't working. Let's try something else.
Severely deformed foot.
Hey Giuseppe, can you make me a shoe?
We got to figure that one out. All right, Gina, let's do one more.
All right.
Tom Dempsey. No.
He
No.
would because they didn't have a shoe for him. So
Oh, because he couldn't. have
Oh,
a
he
shoe.
would
the
do it.
shoe would be a handicap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes he would wrap tape around it, but that's as far as
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, I don't think he must have done that in college. He couldn't have done that when he got to the pros.
That's how he began his kicking career. That's what Sports
Yeah.
Illustrated
Of all the
saying.
professions.
At some point, they found a shoe for him. They made a shoe, and then he had the record. And the record lasted for 40 years.
Amazing.
It's crazy.
Till Mile High Stadium.
Yeah.
Well, we'll end with, wow.
There's his cut off foot with
Okay.
his blocked shoe.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
He had a deformed arm, too, but he didn't have to throw the ball, so nobody cared about that.
Oh, we'll round things out with a little more movie news.
It'd be funny if they also outfit him with like a bionic arm.
Yeah.
And so, like, on all the Hail Marys, it was
Yeah.
80 yards in the end zone.
Spirals.
Yeah. Bam. At some point, the other team would cry foul,
I
right?
imagine that would be against the rules. There's no rule that says.
Nothing. Right.
It's like flubber. The Wrap reports that the first trailer for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is out, and it stars Tom Hanks as kids' TV icon Mr. Rogers. Marielle Heller, Brian might be the only person who knows that name. She directed Can You Ever Forgive Me? Directs this film that's loosely based on the 1998 Esquire article where a journalist wanted to do a profile on Fred Rogers, very doubtful of Rogers' optimism, and of course he wins him over. It was shot in Philadelphia where Mr. Rogers was filmed. The crew meticulously recreated the sets.
That must have taken 15 minutes.
Meticulously.
Yeah, tiny trains.
It opens on November 22nd. Here's a short, very sweet clip from the trailer.
Doc was good.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Sometimes we have to ask for help, and that's okay. I think the best thing we can do is to let people know that each one of them is precious.
Here's the problem with this.
Oh, no. Don't, Brian, please.
No, Brian.
Tom Hanks is a great actor, multiple Oscar winner, many time Oscar nominee. He is not a chameleon. He's a great actor. He's not a chameleon. And Mr. Rogers is an iconic. Everyone knows who Mr. Rogers is and what he sounds like, what he looks like. It sounds like Tom Hanks.
Just had this conversation yesterday with Andy, who said he wishes he got more of kind of like an unknown lookalike to
Like a
really embody
Statham
that
type.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ass kicking Mr. Rogers.
It's still going to be great.
I like the spirit of Mr. Rogers. I still, unfortunately, think that everyone who does things for kids is a cop-out in the entertainment world.
But this was sort of like a high concept. I know it doesn't seem like it, but he didn't want, the stuff that you hated, the HR Puffin stuff, and he didn't want that stream of junk food going to kids.
He was ahead of his time.
Show them how violins are made. Show them how to, handle their feelings.
I get it. It's good, but it's like when you hear the songs and they're sort of talky songs where they just sit there and talk about being happy to see you and you're happy to see me. It falls under the heading of anyone I know could do it, but they didn't.
They didn't,
and he did.
And we're constantly bombarded with Mr. Rogers in our house, and there's a lot of great jazz rearrangements of a lot of the songs. The songs, some of them are brilliant. It's You I Like, Every Part of You, Not Your Toys, Not the Things You Wear. Those are just beside you. It's not you. I mean, he did some really cool things.
Well, he's a good guy, and it's sorry to see him go earlier than he could have. Of course, shot by a prostitute, but. And things are murky. Did she work for him? Was he just with her that night?
Either way,
still
an ignominious end for a beloved figure.
Right.
Sad to remember him that way.
Sad. Well, I think of the younger.
I understand.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
So when's that coming out?
November 22nd for Thanksgiving.
Is the Brian? Does the doc sort of till the soil for this kind of stuff, or is it we know too much?
I think it's the other way around. My hunch, I could be wrong.
Fred's so hot right now.
No, I think it's the other way around. Remember the RBG documentary came out, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it was a big hit, and I think it might have been nominated for the Oscar, but it got like 100% of Rotten Tomatoes. And then the biopic came out like 3 weeks later with Felicity Jones, I think.
I didn't remember that.
That's what I'm saying. When the biopic comes out right after the doc is so incredibly perfect. The Mr. Rogers doc was amazing. Do we need this? What is this going to tell us that the doc did not tell us?
I kind of agree.
Yeah, but it's Tom Hanks. Everybody's going to see it anyway.
Now I have.
It'll reach a wider audience.
I got a doc coming out about Carroll Shelby, and Carroll Shelby is going to be the main player in Ford v Ferrari. There is a version where I see a movie and then I like seeing the actual version of it or
That's
whatever. Actually, I was watching the end of Bohemian Rhapsody the other night, just came on TV, and I realized the best part of the movie is the live footage at the end of the real Freddie Mercury doing the real concert at the real thing, which I was enraptured, and I was like, oh, that's a bad sign. I'm way more into this actual archival footage than I was into the actual playing. Although the movie was fine. Just when you see the real footage
like,
at the end, you go,
that's the stuff.
oh, yeah, that's now we're talking.
Yeah.
So,
this will be interesting.
There's a balance, I guess. And yeah, I agree. I like the doc. Hanks is always great. I'm sure
He is always great.
It'll
but
be fine.
The limitation is that it's Fred Rogers. And
Right.
so iconic.
All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. You're a bum!
That was the news with Gina Grad.